Okay, so today we're going to talk about HYROX. Everybody else seems to be talking about HYROX, so maybe we should jump in on the conversation.
Yes.
To start out, in case people don't know what HYROX is, what is HYROX?
HYROX is a fitness competition. So basically, there's 8 different stations, and you run 1,000 meters each time after a station. So it's 5 miles total. You start with your first run, and then you're going to go right over to your ski, or you're skiing for 1,000 meters. And then you're going back to running. Your next station is going to be a sled push. 50 meters for the sled push, and then you run another 1,000 meters. And then it's 50 meters for the sled pull. Then you run again. You have 80 meters of burpee broad jumps. Go ahead and go on your run again. 1,000-meter row. Run again, and then you got your 200-meter farmer's carry, run, 200-meter sandbag lunges, run, and then you will finish with 100 wall balls, and you run to the finish line right after your wall balls. So
yeah, I think that's a short run after the wall balls.
yeah,
so
it's like right there.
You hit your wall balls and you're done.
Yeah, it's like your victory, like run in.
Yeah.
So
okay, so here's my question for you. Why do you think HYROX has gained so much popularity and so much traction so quickly? What is it about the event that makes it so appealing to people?
Yeah, I definitely think social media has a big thing into that, and how they do advertise it, I think, is really cool. I think it's just an opportunity. People see that they're able to do it. There's different ways. You can do it solo, you can do it with a partner, you could do it with mixed doubles, so a female and a male, which gives you multiple opportunities to actually complete this competition. So I think that's why it became so popular, because people were like, you know what, I feel like I can do this. And yeah.
I think there are a couple of other things too about it that make it really appealing. Number one is it's standardized, so you know exactly what you have to prepare for, how the event's going to run. I think that they do a really good job of running a polished event. So there's a lot of excitement, enthusiasm. It's a really cool environment they create in the stadiums for the events.
Yeah.
I think you're right about social media. It's like there's a cool culture around it. And I've done a lot of CrossFit competitions over the years too, and CrossFit is inherently, we say it's the unknown and the unknowable. So you come into an event, you're not sure what you're preparing for. So you might have to do a long run. You might have to do heavy lifts. You'll probably have to do both of those things. Then in between all these different skills, and that's a really intimidating way to face a competition.
Right.
One of the cool things about HYROX is if you're a CrossFit athlete or you train some other modalities, you're like, okay, I know what I'm getting into here. So it makes it very approachable. If you want to dabble in competition and you want something to train for, you're kind of like, okay, I can wrap my head around this and get ready for it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, so you are signing up. Sign up is just in a few days. So you're signing up for an event in Anaheim.
Yes.
What made you want to do it personally?
Honestly, I definitely saw it popped up on my feed of HYROX itself, like their page, and then I saw people here in Sonoma County doing it, and I was like, oh, this looks really cool. And also, big shout out to members at Windsor Fitness Club. We have quite a few, like at least 7 or 8 members who actually have competed in it and have taken my classes to, in a sense, train for it, which is super cool. So I think that's what inspired me to, do it. Also, shout out, it was the reason why Natalie and I became friends, because we were like, hey, you look super active and cool. Like, we should do a HYROX together. We still haven't yet, but.
And you're not doing this one with her?
No, because she's in nursing school. And
I know
so,
she can't do it.
Yeah, shout out. It's okay. Nursing baddies.
Yeah.
But,
well, hey, maybe you'll do another one with her.
Exactly. Yeah. So just knowing that I feel like, my body is capable. I'm in my young 20s. Like, it's definitely a competition I want to do. And everybody says it's a stereotype, and I'm, proud of it, that retired athlete either runs a marathon or does a HYROX. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's a nice transition into one of the things that we should talk about is why someone might consider doing a HYROX. And being a former athlete, it can be a really hard transition into the next phase of your life. You lose that competition. So you're like, how do I fill that gap now? What does it mean for you having something on the calendar that you're training to? How does that change your life, your approach to training?
Yeah. When I sign up and have that date on my calendar, I'm waking up every day getting better towards something. I'm able to find that discipline like I was if I was training the summer before going into season. That's how I'm kind of going to approach it. But it makes me be like, hey, no, you need to actually take care of your body. You need to make sure you're eating right, you're getting your sleep, you're hydrating. And so this time last year I was doing my 75 hard, which we already covered. So now I get to kind of shift it, and it's kind of bringing that athlete out in me, and like I'm competing for something and that winning side to it. So I feel like that's what's going to really fuel me, having something on the calendar.
Yeah. A point that you just made is really a really important one. Most people think like, okay, I'm going to put something on the calendar, so I'm just going to train really hard for that thing. And that's part of it. Like motivation is increased, but it's also a huge opportunity to think about, okay, if I want to perform well, what other aspects of my lifestyle and my training can I improve?
Right.
Like nutrition, like hydration, just getting better sleep, better recovery, taking care of your tissues so that you're able to recover from your hard training. Maybe add in some recovery protocols like a little bit of regular sauna, massage, cold plunge, lots of ways that you can do better at taking care of your body. And so I find that if I'm cruising through life and fitness, I just kind of like, for me, I've been doing it for a long time, so my fitness can be a lower priority and still I can maintain it pretty well. Yeah. But you put something on the calendar like this, you're like, okay, I'm really going to tune things up here. And you realize there's a lot more opportunity on the table beyond just performance. It's really, you're like, oh, hey, I've been kind of neglecting some of these other areas. So it can be a kind of a reset overall in our approach to fitness.
Definitely.
Yeah, we have I was surprised. We're at CrossFit NorthGate is a HYROX training club now. And this will be our first event that we're attending, this Anaheim event, and I'm shocked at how much interest there actually is. I'll be surprised if we don't have 30 people down there,
right,
based on the interest that I've heard so far. It might be more than that. So that'll be really fun. It's a cool, little opportunity to train with people too.
Yeah.
And I think it's always nice, you make connections, you find out who's going to be down there, and we have some HYROX specific workouts on the calendar now, and a lot of our workouts we have modifications that make it more specific to HYROX. You'll start to see the people that are doing that, and it's fun. You get a little bit more push from them. You can challenge each other a little bit, and then the race day is less of this stressful thing. It's more like a celebration. It's like, hey, I'm going to show up knowing I can do this. I'm going to work really hard and have fun with it, and it's like you get to celebrate with all those people that you worked really hard with. So it's really cool community builder in that way.
It's funny because of just it's not funny, but seeing, kind of looking on social media, it's cool to see that kind of anybody could do it. Obviously, I feel like a lot of our members are very interested in it because they're high-level athletes, and it's cool to kind of see the baseline of they work hard every day normally, but kind of going into that, knowing what they're going into, how they can push themselves mentally. But I've seen somebody complete it who really didn't train well for it. So that's why I think people are like, oh, I can do this, They might not make it in the hour to 15 time or the high times.
Right, the threshold for what's fast.
Yeah, so but that's why I think why it's so popular is because it's doable. You can complete it.
No, literally anybody who trains at our gym who's been training at CrossFit NorthGate consistently could show up and do a HYROX tomorrow.
For sure.
So it's not a matter of can I finish, it's like, hey, can I go down there and feel like I really prepared myself well for it and I can do this thing strong and just have fun with it. If it's one of those things where you look at it and you're not really training hard and you sign up for it and this thing is just going to leverage you hard. It's going to be a massive accomplishment to finish it. That's still a great thing because you'll come away with a huge sense of satisfaction. But for most of the people that we're working with right now, even people that are, I have people that are, pushing 70 who are going to do this thing.
Yeah.
And they're still going to do great with it. And it's way easier to have fun if you're well prepared.
For sure.
If you're confident that you can do it. Now it's like, hey, can I just work hard? And that's fun. You're like, okay, I'm just limited by how hard I want to really suffer in this thing.
Right.
So it's a good place to come from.
Yeah.
Let's shift a little bit. Let's talk about, based on what you've seen in the world of training, what do you think a lot of people get wrong when it comes to their preparation for a HYROX race?
I think they need to be stronger than what it actually entails. And talking to people who have done the race, it's all about kind of running, which makes sense. I mean, you think about 5 miles is 5 miles, but the running is important because that's, I feel like, is going to make and break like your sub times.
Yeah, I think there are two things that are going to make you successful in that race. Number one is, I think most people, especially at CrossFit NorthGate, they're plenty strong, right? The strength is not going to be a limiter at all. The important thing is that you can run reasonably fast and comfortably for that distance. And number two, that you can run on tired legs. After these stations, you're a little bit blasted. So can you continue to maintain some pace even under that heavier fatigue? Definitely for our athletes at CrossFit, they're totally prepared to run on heavy legs. That's something we're really good at. But some supplemental running that will help them improve their pacing will be really helpful.
Definitely.
And I think it's important to differentiate too between training for a HYROX race and training for HYROX. So I think one of the biggest mistakes I see out there, because HYROX is so endurance heavy, it's mostly running with a little bit of light resistance and then some other cardio pieces thrown in. They think that training HYROX regularly is the way to work out. As you move closer and closer to a race, you want to make your workouts more and more specific to HYROX. But I think what gets missed in this conversation for a lot of people is, how do I build a big base for that? Efficiency is one of the things that we always focus on, and efficiency means a lot of different things, but one of it is just movement economy. Do you move well? Do you squat with good mechanics? Do you lunge with good mechanics, or do you have tight hip flexors that's causing your back to overarch? Do you have good running technique? If you're not working technique and then building strength with that good technique, we maybe don't have the best economy of movement. And in an endurance race, you're just going to be bleeding energy the whole time. So your long-term approach to training for HYROX should look like much more traditional strength training, and it's not just about getting crazy strong. You don't need to be a power lifter to do HYROX, obviously. But can you maintain good squat mechanics under heavy load? How is that going to translate into wall ball efficiency at the end of a workout like that?
Especially at being the last station, you're so tired and fatigued. Your
If
brain's probably not even working.
So you just want to be able to default to good mechanics. Also things like, pushing the sled, rowing technique, ski technique. If you don't have those things, you're just bleeding energy the whole time. So we think about efficiency, and how do you prepare for efficiency? Well, it's with a bunch of different type of training, not just doing HYROX movements and stations over and over and over again. So as you get closer to the race, you definitely want to challenge yourself in HYROX-y kind of ways. But how do we prepare that like earlier in the year? It's in much more traditional ways of training. So I think that's an important distinction. I think we should talk about how much running would be appropriate for someone to prepare for a race like this.
I mean, I feel like we're kind of doing it in our programming already, but it's like pretty much everything should have something running or getting our heart rate spiked up. I think it should be more than normal.
I think some supplemental running is definitely appropriate. On all my running programs that I give people, I push for 2 or 3 key runs a week. So in a standard, somebody wants to come to me and they want a 5K or a 10K or a half running program, I'm usually going to give them a program that has 3 key runs a week. One is going to be endurance. There we're working on building our aerobic base. The second one is going to be tempo, where we're working on our anaerobic or our lactic threshold, and that's kind of what we think about as our race pace. And the third one is going to be speed work. And that's where we improve our VO2 max, we improve our running mechanics and our economy, and we actually get faster. In preparation for HYROX, I think that it depends where the person's coming from. If they're already an established runner, or if they're starting to, just add in additional running on top of what we already do in CrossFit. I think at that point, it could be a little bit different. but I think definitely somebody who's not running much already should be working on building an aerobic base, because it is going to be an hour and a half long race for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So just low intensity aerobic base building miles would be good. And I've got a bunch of different ways. All my programs come with calculators so people can figure out how to do that, like what pace they should actually be running and how to progressively build that. And then we do a lot of VO2 max building already. So most of us who do CrossFit have pretty good VO2 max threshold there. So for a lot of people, it might just be kind of tempo running. If they're already established runners, getting better tempo pacing would be a good idea. And then I think, which we already do in our programming frequently, is learning to run on heavy legs. So what do your legs feel like coming off of a sled, off of lunges, off of rowing or the ski? We do that constantly. So that's something that we're pretty prepared for. So, you know, keeping one of those a week is good, and then adding in 1 or 2 additional runs depending on where that person's coming from is helpful.
We had a question of just how to pace a race. How do you combine the running and the, you know, the strength part of pacing yourself to not like burn out halfway? Or
that is such an important concept to master, and it's something we try to practice all the time. Are you familiar with the concept of negative splits?
I'm not too positive I am.
Okay, so let's say we're running a 10K. The idea of negative splits is that your last mile should be slightly faster than your first mile.
Okay.
And that's the way to yield your best performance. We talk about perceived rate of exertion. So if we're doing a long pace driven, workout, our intensity should kind of feel like a 7 out of 10 at the beginning on the first round. And by the 10th round, you're like a 10 out of 10. But ideally, we haven't dropped any pacing. You can always pick up pace at the end and go faster if you saved a little bit too much, but you can't do it the other way around. If you come out too hot and you just hit the wall, you are going to die. You're going to hit that 10 out of 10. You're going to suffer at some point in the workout regardless. Let's say you come out really hot and I pace it really well, and we finish at the exact same time, and we're doing an hour-long workout, and you're dying at 20 minutes because you came out hot, and then you're just holding on for dear life for the rest of the time. You had a big lead that you're just giving away to me. Because I pace it better, I hit that wall with 20 minutes to go. You hit that wall with 40 minutes to go. If nothing else, I've suffered less than you. You know, it was more fun for me. So pacing is really, really important.
Talking to a couple people and members who have done it, they once, I guess I've never done it before, but once you do it, you have like a bug to do it again. Because I've had a member who did it, and she did it with her husband, and she was like, we didn't go hard enough, so we're gonna do it again because like we feel like we could have done better. And then there's another member who's done, I think, like 6 of them now with her partner, and they're just always trying to do better, trying to limit their mistakes or penalties that they get. So I guess, you know, you might not know it the first time, but you can keep pacing yourself and knowing that you can go harder on one station than the other. So I think that's cool. But it would just be cool to like kick ass the first time.
Well, and I think that brings back this concept of pacing. If you feel like you're really good at pacing, you'll walk away from an event feeling like, hey, that was a good performance. Of course I could do a little bit better, but I want to walk away from the event knowing like, hey, that was maybe not the best I could ever do. I can clearly get more fit to improve my time, but in terms of execution, I executed that well. So I encourage everybody, if they're thinking about doing HYROX or any kind of race or event, like really pay attention to every workout is a chance to test your pacing and test your intensity, test your approach. And if you're not kind of circling back and thinking about, okay, what was my approach to this workout and how well did I execute it? How could I have done better? If you're just kind of mindlessly going through it, it's hard to get better. One of the things, I've done a lot of endurance racing in my life. Done a lot of bike races, a little bit of running races, a bunch of triathlon, through Ironman distance, so lots of endurance. And so pacing is one of the things I feel really good about. So I can go out to most events, whether it's a short CrossFit workout in the open or jumping into a triathlon, even though I'm not trained up for it. I think I can still nail the pacing because I've done so much practice. So if that's something you haven't done a lot, paying attention to every single workout you do. How are you pacing it? Another good thing is if you're just doing workouts that don't have objectives, having a workout with an objective that has a measurable score to it is really, really important. Because if you're like, hey, let's do, how many rounds can you do per time? Or the workout you just did, right? You're saying you have a score to that. How many burpees could you do? How many calories on the skier could you do? In the set amount of time that we established on these intervals, you're trying to figure out your pacing. And how did you do on your intervals? Did you see bats that fall off, or was it pretty steady?
That was pretty steady, yeah.
Right. So you look at that and you're like, hey, I went out way too hot. Those were the calories. That was the pace that I was skiing on the ski erg. And I saw a major degradation in my score. I need to pace that a little bit differently next time.
Yeah.
But the better you can just feel that out and know that you're kind of achieving your best score on these measurable workouts, it's important. So having a workout structure that gives you that opportunity is super important, I think.
Yeah. And to add on that, and this is for our members at CrossFit NorthGate, this is for my clients at my other studios, and I'm connecting it to basketball as well. I think it's really important training for this to push yourself past a level now. So when you get into the race and you feel that hard wall or whatever, that it's not the first time you're feeling it. And I think some people get really comfortable. They feel their heart rate get to a certain point, and then they're like, oh, I'm just gonna slow it down a little bit, and they're okay with that. It's okay to just get uncomfortable. I like to call it an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
And it's okay, and it's kind of refreshing sometimes. So I encourage that for everyone.
Push it.
Yeah.
Every time I do a workout hard, there's a point in that workout when a little voice shows up. And the little voice is like, hey, man, you're doing pretty good. Back off a little bit, take it easy. You don't need to push that hard. It's negative talk. It's trying to back you off.
Yeah.
And I invite that noise. I want to hear that every single workout. The challenge is when you hear that, can you do the opposite of what that's telling you to do? Whether you go out of body, and it's like a meditation. When you meditate, you're supposed to let thoughts just come and go. Focus on your breath. Working out hard is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
You know that negative noise is coming. When it comes, can you just let it go and keep focusing on what you're trying to do? That's the practice that's really going to help you race well.
Yes.
That's a great point. I think that's something that's super neglected by athletes.
Yeah. And I just think too, until it's just a level of potential that anybody could reach, if they just finally let it go, then they could experience a whole another door of holy crap, I'm a different athlete. I try to encourage that in everything that I teach.
Working out hard is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
You know that negative noise is coming. When it comes, can you just let it go and keep focusing on what you're trying to do? That's the practice that's really going to help you race well.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember when I was training for my Ironman, I did all my runs. I was in Philadelphia, so it was very hot. Most of my long running was in August. And I would go in the middle of the day. It was 90 degrees, 90% humidity. It was just brutal out there. I'd go run right in the sun. And I wanted it to be hard because that's what it is. The marathon is coming after 112 miles on the bike, after 2.5 miles of swimming. So it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And you're not going to want to do it. And so I just wanted that noise. And I wanted that noise to come. And it was like, hey, man, you can take a shortcut. You can shorten up this run. You can slow down a little bit. And it was constant. It was just a barrage I'm like, who is this person living inside my head that sucks so bad? And you just have to learn to let that go. You don't dwell on those feelings of, pain or discomfort.
Yeah.
Let it go. You stay focused on your next step, your next repetition, your pace, your breath, your technique, your footwork, all that stuff. Yeah. That's where you put your energy. One of the cool things that happens in our gym, at least, is we do these little competitions, whether it's the CrossFit Open.
Yeah.
That's 3 weeks in the spring, the first qualifying round for the CrossFit Games, which lots of people participate in. We did a little throwdown in the gym a few weeks ago just as teams, and it was just for fun.
Yeah.
But what most people discover when they do these little mini competitions is that competition, competing in a safe environment like that, it pushes them so far beyond what their comfort zone would allow them to do otherwise that it's completely recalibrating. Now, should we train like we're in a competition? No. You don't always want to be just hammering away, pushing 100%. That's not how we train. Just to clarify.
Yes.
But doing that once in a while to recalibrate as to what we're actually capable of doing, what our capacity really is, I think it's super important.
Definitely. Yeah. Yes.
All right. So, racing, we should probably do another talk about HYROX as we start to get a little bit closer. We can talk to people about, training and specifics about how to, actually race it well, whether we need to deal with nutrition or some technique work and that sort of thing. But I think that one other thing that people can do in their training that's really helpful, and it goes back to efficiency, is practicing transitions. So one of the things I notice, so sometimes, we'll do a workout. We do like a little 5-round workout at the gym. We've got 3 stations in a workout. So that's a total of 15 transitions. And let's say one of those is running. And so we run and we're going to get back in the gym. I will typically run all the way back to my barbell, and let's say we're doing some cleans. I'll run in, just on that bar, hit my first rep. Once you start doing it, it's easy to keep doing it. Sometimes there are huge disparities between the people that do it fast and the people that do it slow.
Right.
The people that do it fast aren't necessarily running way faster, and they're not cycling their reps maybe all that much faster. But when you start to look at the transitions, you're like, well, I see them running in, and they kind of get to the alley, and then they start walking, and they walk all the way to the barbell. They get there. Sometimes they pretend they need some chalk before they do their lift. Maybe they grab a sip of water, and I look at that time, I'm like, you just burned 30 seconds to a minute on that one transition, and there are 15 transitions in HYROX. We've got 8 stations. In and out of every station, that's a transition.
Right.
So you've got 16 transitions there. If you just kind of lollygag and you spend 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds on every one of those transitions, that adds up to several minutes of time aggregately by the end of the race. So thinking about efficiency, again, we don't have to rush the reps. We don't want to be sloppy. That's not how we achieve efficiency. But not wasting any time in transitions is hugely important.
Definitely. Yeah. I think that's a thing. It's slept on.
For sure.
Not focused on. So that was good. I like that transition.
Cool. Let's see. In closing, let's just think, if somebody's on the fence, should I do HYROX or not? We've got this Anaheim event coming up.
Yeah.
They sell out really quickly.
Yes.
I know that pre-sale goes on sale on the 11th.
Yes. Next week.
Yeah. So we'll have this podcast out hopefully before that comes up. But if you're a member of our gym, so we're a HYROX Chain Club, you get early entry. So you're pretty much guaranteed access into the race. If not, make sure you register really early.
Right.
Because these things sell out very quickly.
Yes.
Very popular.
Yes, very.
So if somebody's on the fence, should I do HYROX or should I not do HYROX? What would you tell them?
I want to specifically call out my age group if I'm able to do that.
Please.
Yeah.
Because they don't listen to me.
If you are in your early or even late 20s, you're thinking about it or on the fence or just the thought, do it, because you'll never be 20 again. And if your body is willing and able, it's what's stopping you? Because just talking to people that I look up to that are older than me, I do believe them when they say, it gets harder as you get older. And I just feel like don't put yourself in a position where years from now you're like, dang, I wish I could have done that because my body was willing to do that. So I just say if we're young enough and if you're capable of doing it, do it. That's what I would say to my age group.
Should I speak to my age group?
Yeah, I'm actually curious.
All right. So for all you almost 50-year-olds out there, I identify as a 50-year-old. It's about a year off. Here's the message. It's really important to fight for every shred of athleticism that we have left. The more we give away, the harder it is to get that back. If you're in your 20s and you took a decade off of exercise or you've never exercised before, you can get in really good shape really quickly. The older you get, the longer it takes to build that capacity. Even if you haven't started now, start. I see people in their 50s and 60s all the time that make it in their 70s. I have a couple of 7-year-old clients right now who have made incredible progress.
Right.
And it's never too late to start, but the longer you wait, the harder it is.
Yeah.
And if for you, having an event on the calendar is motivating and you want a community of people to help challenge you and hold you accountable, this is a great opportunity for that.
Definitely.
And if you're not ready to sign up for an event, but you want to hang out with a lot of people that are training for it and just get the vibe, come train with us.
Yeah.
Come in, we'll teach you how to move well.
Yeah.
We'll get you strong. We'll build some endurance and some capacity for that.
Yeah. And for everyone, you're never going to be ready. You just got to do it and be confident in yourself. That's what I would have to say to that.
Yeah.
So.
And so anybody who's listening who obviously trains at our gym, you have access to, all of our training protocols.
Yeah.
Anybody who's interested in training for HYROX, I do have some free running programs. I'm going to put a link up through our social media page. So if you want a running program that's specific to HYROX, I'm happy to provide that for free. And then if somebody wants some additional coaching around that, I'm happy to sit down with them and help tailor it specifically to what their training protocols look like. So that's available to anybody. I do some running workshops occasionally where we go over technique. We're also going to be starting to host some HYROX Sundays. We'll do about one a month.
Nice.
And in those little events, I think we'll do it on Sunday. Maybe we'll do it on Saturday. We'll see. But it'll be about an hour and a half long, and we'll come in, we'll talk a little bit about strategy or what the objective of that class is. We'll work a little bit of technique first, so whether we drill some running technique, we'll probably do that just about every time. And then we'll focus on some other type of technique, like how do we row efficiently, how do we ski efficiently, what does efficient squat mechanics look like for the wall balls, and then we'll do a HYROX workout.
Yeah.
So it won't be exactly like a HYROX race, but we'll take components of that and we'll work on improving our efficiency and building capacity around that. So everyone's invited to those.
Awesome.
So hopefully we see some big crowds, we make it fun.
Yeah, and if you're not, a part of CrossFit NorthGate, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'd love to have you a part of our community. If you are interested in HYROX and you want to be a part of affiliate, please reach out to us, and we'd love to have you and help you train for HYROX.
Yeah, 100%. Well said. So if you guys have any additional questions, we'll jump back on maybe in a couple of months, and we'll talk about how training's going. And if there are other people that are training, maybe not in our community, but they want to, you want some questions answered, we'd be happy to answer those. So feel free to shoot us a DM, and we'll respond, and we'll put those questions into our next podcast.
All right.
So cool. If you made it to the end, hey, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys.